What is going on, everybody? We're back with another review of Star Trek Con. Today, we're talking about episode 4 of Star Trek Con, and that episode is entitled Magical Thinking. My name is Will, and this is the other show's host.
I'm Caleb.
And you're about to watch New Trek. Who dis?
Goodbye, 1966. Yes, the times are changing with new stories and sweet kicks, and Mr. Warfare dancing. Red alert, set phasers to fun. Incoming message, the podcast has begun. From Pike to Freeman in the mix, let's get our Star Trek fix. Paying homage to the classics. It's New Trek Who Dis. Who dis? It's New Trek Who Dis. Who dis? It's New Trek Who Dis. Who dis? It's New Trek Who Dis. Who dis?
So, before we get into an absolute spoiler-filled review, Caleb, what would be your rating out of 5 deltas, and as well a non-spoiler review of the episode?
Well, I don't want to give every episode a 5, but I always enjoy every episode very much. So I'll give this one a 4.
Yeah, I think I will give it a 5, and we'll call it 4.5 for our official rating.
Yeah, that sounds good. Do you like fighting big stuff and possible new additions to the group? Then this is your episode.
Then this is it. Yeah, I like pretty much everything that they introduced in the episode, and it lends to being probably an episode to remember. I would assume that this is like the turning point in the series, so we'll see.
Yeah, it feels like Khan and Marla are finally like together, obviously. So yeah, no, it's nice that they didn't just rush into that, and I enjoy that they didn't just make her be like infatuated with him like she was in the 60s episode,
Yes, yeah,
They
exactly.
kind of flushed her out. They had this whole like trust thing building between the two of them, which I thought was good.
Yeah,
Yeah, it kind of led to this. It's pretty good.
I agree. Well, that's our take, but now we're going to get into spoilers.
Recommend we go to Red Alert.
Red alert!
So it was a very interesting episode. There was a lot of different things that they did in the beginning, and then all of a sudden you get to like the halfway point, and they discover that SETI eel that has
Yeah.
I guess it has like a way
It's not
to
just multiple nests, Will. It's one giant
nest.
nest,
That's right.
which implies that the queen that we see, or no, it's not necessarily a queen, it's just an adult larva, isn't it, in the movie?
Yes.
But it could grow into a queen. You don't know.
Right. So they open up with him burying Richter,
Richter.
and he's trying to like hide that from the group and also the other girl. I forget what Richter's
think he-
girlfriend's name is.
Yeah. He
He's
doesn't want the
doing-
group to see that like Richter brutally killed her.
Right.
And then he doesn't want the group to see that he like broke Richter's neck.
You're right.
Yeah.
And
There's a
he's
lot.
burying him, and then Ivan comes out and is like, he's upset that Ivan is here and that Ursula told him, and he's like, yeah, but I'm just here to make sure everything goes well. And then,
I help you dig holes.
right, he brought like a shovel to help him to dig too.
I dig 2 graves.
Exactly.
Yeah. He's great. He's a very one line.
He's very
guy.
one line.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that happens, and then he comes back and he's like talking to them, and then basically Marla pushes back on him that like you should have like customs for these people. Like you should do something. Like not acknowledging that they die and it
That's right.
not being a thing is like kind of crazy and foolish to do because like people need to grieve. And he kind of pushes back on her about grief and all of the stuff, and she basically gets him to see her point of view that like this is what's needed. Like it's very obvious that this is what people need.
Yeah. Yeah, it's almost like he fights against it because he wants to be so different from humanity that like they just don't want to do ceremonies and traditional human stuff, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he comes around at the end.
He does. He goes back and then he talks to them that like we should be doing this. Like we should have this custom of like honoring the dead. And then they like go forth and have like this like gathering, and then he says, I grieve with you. And then
Mm.
I grieve with you. And he grieves with like the son, the man who died from the giant boar thing. And then he grieves with the
Oh,
young he grieves with like the
Isaac
friend of the other young girl who died, Richter or whatever. He grieves with the
Richter.
last like friend that he said. I think it's one of the kids that he saved in Montana. He grieves with her because she's like one of the last few kids because
What's the
Richter and the other girl are dead.
what's the kid's name that he gave him his blade? Is it Isaac?
Maybe
He's like the half.
it's possible. I really don't remember. I'm really bad with their
Yeah.
names.
Yeah. I know Khan. I know Ivan.
Right, exactly.
I just, as I was getting to remember Richter, dead. He dead.
Right, like as you're committing something to memory, it's like, oh no, they're dead. I remember that after he does that, they're analyzing one of the SETI eels, and it has like things on it that show that it basically impregnates like another eel. And they're like, yeah, but I thought they were asexual. And they're like, yeah, but apparently this is like a male. And then they're like, well, that changes everything. And they're like, what do you mean that changes everything? And it's like it's not multiple nests, it's one giant nest. And like we can probably take these things out and because they're one big nest. And then they all go and assault it, and like Ivan has like napalm and they're like torching the thing. And then I think
Marla swings in with her phaser,
at the very end, yeah.
blasts.
Because I think like does the queen come out or something? I think that's what happens. It was the queen or the
Yeah,
king or something comes
it's
out,
the
and
queen. It's like a giant queen.
they're like, oh, and
It's
then she
huge.
right. And then she shows up with her phaser and gets rid of it, and they're all like, "What's that thing?" And she's like, "Well, I didn't want to tell, like, I didn't want to, but like, I didn't want you to get hurt." And he's like, and he's upset, and then she tells him that they're pregnant, that she's pregnant, and he's like, "Oh." And then they basically go back and get married.
Yeah, there's a few Earth traditions that they still need to do.
Yes,
Funerals and weddings.
true.
What happens in the current timeline? Anything that you remember?
That's right. She comes back and she confronts Tuvok
Okay,
with
that's right.
like how could Kirk's Enterprise not have seen it, and how could the Reliant not have seen it, like not have counted that a planet was missing. And Tuvok kind of, when she brings it up Kirk's thing, he's like there could be a number, basically there could be a number of reasons why Kirk still put them there if he even if he felt there was a problem, like it could be explained away. But then when she mentions the Reliant comes, Tuvok's like whole attitude changes, and he's like, "How do you know that information?" And she's like, "I have my sources." And he's like, "Who?" She's like, "Well, I'm not going to tell you." And then he's like, "Well, I'll look into this then," because that it's kind of been a thing that a lot of the Star Trek fans have talked about is like, how did two different starships not know that this planet, like one, how does one starship not know that this planet is soon to like be destroyed, and how does the second ship that shows up like not count how many
Yeah,
planets
because
are in the
when
system?
they show up, they assume that this is six, and it's like, yeah, but there's only one planet in the solar system now. So, are
Right,
your readings like super bad? I don't know. Yeah, that's right. What's interesting though, you're starting to see that like even they on the planet were scanning that planet, and they're like, oh, well, that'll happen in a billion years, that the planet's destruction.
right,
So something interesting happens, you know,
totally.
with that planet. So why is this episode called Magical Thinking?
So they call it magical thinking because I think it's a play on like a term, I guess. One is magical thinking is like religion and basically like giving into a higher power. So magical thinking. Because that's the whole like funeral thing, and they need to be married and all that stuff. And then it's like magical thinking that like this relationship is all going to work out. It's like it's a play for us of knowing this isn't going to be the happy love story that they're setting up, but and then it's also for because he says it, and there's a line in the episode where he says, that's all magical thinking is what he says about like religion and belief and like dealing
That's
with
right. I
death and
remember there
stuff like
being a
that.
religious. Yeah, that's right.
Well, that's the thing that we were forgetting was the thing in he so brings in a shovel, they're burying, and then they go back to the lab and they're doing the autopsy, and they talk about the SETI eel
Oh.
on Richter's like cerebral, like they're reviewing the things.
Yeah, right. Because last episode they were talking about you'd have to be dead to do the autopsy or to get the
Right.
eel like out of his brain.
So they talk about how like it's wrapped around like his cerebral cortex and enters through the ear and travels to the base of the brain. And as it develops, it like gives out like a thing that does like hallucinations and suggestions, like makes him susceptible to these things. And they're like, okay, that makes a lot of sense. And then they have this whole back and forth about Marla being Khan's woman, and she's like, I'm not really Khan's woman. And then they're kind of like, yeah, you kind of are.
Yeah, that's the whole reason you're here. So it's the only reason that no one's killed you yet, basically.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Go paint in your tint. Go do paintings or do something else, lady.
Is this the episode where they talk about putting the stuff in the gaps to like keep them from eating? They put like they're gonna put seashell pieces down so that like the things can't burrow through the ground. I think that's how they figure out that's
Oh, yeah.
they
I
talk
do
about
remember
I
that.
forget what it's called, like diatomaceous earth or something like that. And it's basically like
Yeah, like
fossils and
lime.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like so they're gonna go take, so it's like eating glass. Yeah, I think that's also in this episode too. So like they deal with that and then
I haven't seen any more Cetidactyls,
no,
which is a bummer.
yeah, and she basically is like hiding the phaser from Khan and stuff. So yeah,
Well, they already smashed her communicator. So.
yeah, I feel like our thing's been all over the place, but basically it was a really good episode, and I listened to it like such a while back that I thought I remembered a lot of it, but all I really truly it
Yeah.
stuck out was like finding out that there were male SETI eels and that they kill the queen, Marla saves them with the phaser, she's pregnant, and then at the end of the episode they get
They
married.
get married. I think that's the major things that happen for sure. Yeah.
It definitely lends to the fact of why Khan in the future is like so irate. Because making her pregnant makes him even more understandably angry.
Yeah.
And the thing that I keep wondering about is, I know we're like 3 or 4 episodes behind now, but the thing I wonder now is like, how are we going to connect it to being Kirk's fault? Like the historian is trying
Or
to.
if it even is, that's like the whole theme is like, is it? I don't know.
That's what I think is the most interesting thing that they're trying to build towards.
I would kind of hate that though. If like in retrospect they do this thing and it's like, yep, Kirk knew the whole time and he sent him there to
Sure.
die. That would kind of bum me out a little bit, you know?
Well, certainly.
Yeah, I don't think I'd like that really. I don't like that idea.
The thing that I think they might play out is that Kirk he gets control of the ship again and he contacts Starfleet and what to deal with them, how to like deal with these people, and they tell him to
Yeah.
put him on SETI Alpha 5, and they knew that it was going to end up killing them, and that dealt with the
Yeah.
augment problem. And Kirk didn't know because he didn't scan anything because he just trusted what Starfleet told him to do. There was no reason to scan anything. And when the Reliant shows back up, they might be able to pass it off as like, oh, we were looking for 6 and we accidentally went on 5. And it
Mhm.
might have been like, no, they were sent
was-
to go look at, like, Chekhov maybe didn't know that or something. And like they were sent to go check on Khan and see if he was dead. It could have
It's a
been,
death mission.
yeah. I don't know. I'm curious.
That's
To see where
because the Federation at this time period is taken over by the skitterbugs.
SETI eels, right?
Yeah.
They're all SETI eels.
Yeah, they're all the same.
Well, yeah, the skitterbugs go in the mouth and the SETI eels go in the ears. So
Yeah. So
very close, very
they
close.
both go in your brain
They both go to the
So-
brainstem and control you. So,
and then eventually go to your stomach. So
but one is direct mind control and the other one is suggestive mind control. So very subtle differences.
you haven't even eaten your worms.
Exactly.
Yeah, I would like to agree with you on that point, but I have knowledge moving forward. So
I see. I gotcha. Fair
yeah,
enough.
it's like moving forward. It's like, hey, who did these scans? Like this person did them. Like really, this person did the scans? Seems like they would have seen something. So I don't know. I don't. But even more to your point, like I don't know where they're going with it and why the planet blows up so suddenly.
Same.
I think it got hit by like a asteroid or something.
Something. yeah, it's really interesting, and I have been enjoying this continuously, and I think that it's just going to keep building upon itself
Yeah.
and getting
It's
better.
been doing very well too. Like
Yeah,
every
the
time I go in the comment sections is like people are just loving it. So I want more.
yeah,
I want
exactly.
more.
And I know that like this wasn't a more robust thing. I think Caleb and I just, by the time we got to reviewing it, it had been quite a while since we've listened to it. And, you know, if there's something in this episode that we missed or you think we should have covered or talked about or you'd like to hear our opinion about,
Yeah.
remind us in the comments below because we have a comment from our previous episode 2,
Yeah.
Scheherazade, and that is
Uh-huh.
from my office. He says on episode 2 here, 4 deltas for me again this week.
Ooh.
Continued character development with a new light shown on Khan and his thought process. It makes you think of this quote unquote villain in a whole new way.
Mm-hmm.
I would also be interested in watching Wrath of Khan when this is all over.
Yeah.
The storytelling has been so good up to this point. I'm up to episode 5 already. I
Ooh,
don't
me
want to
too.
give any spoilers, but I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys think as it
Yeah.
continues. I have some new views toward Wrath of Khan. Also, totally agree. The voice actor for Khan is, on all caps, amazing. I
Yeah,
can't
he's
help but
great.
visualize Ricardo Montalban. If they can do future series with this level of storytelling and character development, I would be completely on board.
Yeah. It just seems like finally that's like a Star Trek passion project, right? Doesn't it? Like,
This type of passion project is like them going back to like the mid 90s of Star Trek and like they're actually
yeah.
caring about what they're putting out again. It just is kind of crazy that it's a podcast audio series.
It is. Yeah, it's a weird medium for Trek, but I
Yeah,
think it works for
totally
this.
works. And I
And how funny is it that
honestly,
it's that this is like such a big timeline in between the Khan episode and Wrath of Khan, and like no one has ever touched any of it. It's like, here you go.
no.
Here's the full story of what happened on the
Yeah.
planet.
Like obviously non-canon books have covered it, I'm sure of it. But I mean
I don't
really,
hate.
you think from 19th like 15 years probably between the Space Seed episode and then Wrath of Khan and then another like 40 something years, like 44 years until we got more con content. You
Yeah.
know. We could talk, you know, there's obviously the Star Trek Enterprise episode where they deal with the augments, but really
Okay.
directly con
Yeah.
like it's been such a long time and so it's an interesting thing for them to go all the way back to then and continue that.
I would like to see this as a full movie with Benedict Cumberbatch.
I would love it. I would love it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have heard from this comment, I've seen some other things online that I've tried very hard to avoid and not be spoiled, and now I've heard
Mhm.
from yourself that episode 5 is like the start of
The,
the
the
actual
setting
start
point.
of
Yeah.
the change in the series.
Yep. Yep.
Well, very good. I think Caleb and I can assure you that episode review will be better because it won't be like a week and a half since I've heard the
Yeah.
episode. And
Yeah,
him
we
and
do
I
the
just like haven't had time and we didn't want to keep pushing it off. So
we say, hey, we're gonna record this tomorrow, so we listen to it, and then tomorrow never comes.
exactly. So any closing thoughts, Caleb, on episode 4?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd like to see that queen.
Rendition of that queen, and that would be cool. Get to see some.
Yeah.
It would be nice if
Most-
they did release at least like one or two like
Mm,
artist renditions of from the episode, right? You know what I mean?
that would be cool. Yeah, I like that idea.
I would like that too. Well, thank you everybody for watching. Thanks for listening. We hope you liked it. We know it was a little scattered, but we always recommend you listening to the episode yourself. Let us know, hold us accountable, and put down in the comments some things you would have liked to have heard about, and we can talk about it when we review episode 5. And that episode is entitled Imagination's Limits. So we look forward to covering that. And you'll never know where this story will go when you're listening to Star Trek. Ka! Hey, you know what? It's funny. And I do
Yeah.
remember this. We totally get the ever most paper thin Screaming Khan
Yeah, yeah.
when they're at the end of like the the like funeral thing, they're all like Khan, Khan, Khan,
Yeah.
and then the podcast does like this fun like like this fun like blending into the next scene.
Yeah, the trumpet.
Yeah, and I was like,
Well,
ah!
stay tuned.
Oh, good,
You get
Good.
a lot more Khan chanting.
gonna be great. See you guys.
Yep.
Let's do this